Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody? I'll just wait. I logged on just a minute early. I'll just give you guys a couple of minutes to dial in. So let me just prep myself over here. Good morning. I was a bit early, but I'll wait. Let's just wait for a few more people to join. Morning, morning, welcome, welcome. Perfect. I think I'm good. Morning, offensive. Good morning. How are you? Are you doing good? Okay, let's just give the rest of the people a few more minutes. I did come in quite early. Morning, Shonisani. Morning, Nikki. Japan. Oh, wow. Hello, hello, hello. What time is it in Japan? Let me check my world clock. Um, I think I know, but let me double check. Welcome, Nikki. Well, now, welcome. Japan must be. Where are you in Tokyo? So you're what? 7 hours ahead. Hey, so 5 o'clock there. Yeah, nice. How's life in Japan? Morning, Motsakwe. Morning, guys. Morning. So I think let's just allow another couple of minutes for people to log in. Morning, fortunate morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. You can tell that I'm not in my usual cooking space. I'm still in my kitchen, but not in the usual cooking spot because I'm not cooking today. I'm tired. Simply put, I'm tired. I'm not cooking today. I think my husband will cook today, or we'll go out for lunch. So I actually haven't made any lunch plans today. There's one thing for sure. I'm gonna have some champagne today. Yeah. All right. Yes, in Tokyo. Yeah, a little after 5 there in the afternoon. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I hope life is good in Japan. I hope it's good. I'm now so curious. I'm like, what are you doing in Japan? Tell me more. Morning, Koliwe. Morning, everybody. Let's give 2 minutes and then we can get started. I'll tell you what I've been up to. If you already, well, you know already, kind of, because I mentioned it last week. But I'll tell you what else is exciting and coming up because that's quite fun. And I hope that you have your questions ready for me because today I'm only answering questions. I'm giving you full attention today. No pots, no splatters, nothing. Morning, Bedu from Botswana. Good morning, morning, morning. Yeah, I think it's a good day to rest. It's a good day to rest. And it's a beautiful day. I mean, we've got good weather, so I'm hoping that I'll be sitting outside in the patio or at some nice restaurant, sipping on something good, eating food cooked by other people. Oh, food cooked by other people can be so nice. Um, yeah, so welcome, guys. All right, so we just about to get going, and the other people can just catch up with us as they log in. But yeah, I was saying that I'm not in my usual cooking spot, but I am in my kitchen still. I'm on the kitchen island. So if you're trying to figure out which side of the kitchen I'm at, I cook over there. I'm this side today, and I'm not cooking today. No, no cooking today. In fact, I don't even have lunch plans today. We'll see. My husband's gone cycling, so when he comes back, we'll see what we do for lunch. I haven't made plans. I'm quite sluggish this morning, but I got up and went for my morning walk, which I haven't been able to get in this week. But that felt good. That felt really good. I did my good 4 kilometers this morning. Um, and this is pretty much the mode I'm going to be on all day, is like chilled, do nothing. And Formula One is back, so I'm really, really excited about that. And anyway, welcome everybody, welcome. So those are the things I'm excited about. I'm excited about Formula One. Um, actually, I'm a big sports fan. Um, for me, I watch TV for sport only. And then, okay, the odd series that I like. I like Billions, the series. I like series that are, highly intellectual or highly tricky, like there's mind games happening. I love that. Um, but yeah, what I do the most is watch TV. And at the back of if anyone knows anything about Formula One, at the back of the last season, I think a lot of us were quite disgruntled that Lewis Hamilton was robbed of his eighth title. And I actually, to be honest, I didn't know how I would feel when the Formula One season came back. I was really like, wow, like sure, it was shocking. But so I actually was kind of like, "Ugh, Formula One, I don't care anymore. I mean, I'm a big Formula One fan. I've even been to watch it. So yeah, when it came on, the practice session, when it came on, literally my heart skipped out of my chest. I was so excited. I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. Because actually, I just want to support Lewis. That's it. I don't care about the rest of the noise. And I like these rookies as well, these upcoming young drivers. I like that. I like that there's more diversity in the sport, a little more diversity in the sport. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm looking forward to today. So I'm not cooking. It's all gonna be verve. Verve is gonna be flowing all day, honey. I deserve it. After the week I've had, I deserve it. My kids got sick, and yes, I said that in the last session, and I ended up with 2 kids with COVID, and the one still carried on and went to school because she tested negative. But it's an interesting thing for me because when I'm going through something like that, I mean, I think for any mother, your kid being sick is really like, it's just, that takes the juice out of life. But in the moment, I have to be in the moment. I have to look after them. Like literally, you know how we get as mothers. We are such mama bears. I'm talking about the great mothers, okay, the great ones. We're such mama bears. I literally sit next to my kids all day looking after them, especially in that first day. And with this variant, it's like just 1-2 days that they're really sick, and then the rest is just normal recovery. So, yeah, I had 2 kids with COVID, and my husband was traveling. So, whew, everything was kind of on me, and I had work, and I had so many other things to take care of. So it's been quite a hectic week, managing all of that. But that's why today I am giving myself a day off of doing anything, and these are the reasons why people laugh when I say, when my husband gets money in the year, there's a portion that comes to me. And it's labeled, do whatever you want with this. Because, hey, I carry the load, hey? I carry the load. So somebody gotta pay. Somebody gotta pay. So no, those are the things I look forward to. I'm like, no, I'll carry the load, but I know, That's my love language, okay? I don't care for flowers. I don't care. My love language is very simple, and my husband understands it. Uh, anyway, so I've had to deal with sick kids and balance it all. But I'm good, It's the natural order of things. It's how life goes. One moment you are really like whew, paddling, and then another moment you can chill. No, they're fine now. Thank you very much. They're fine. They're well recovered. But the third one just said she's got a sore throat. I'm like, no, no. But either way, and it's truly what I always say in all my sessions. It's not so much what life throws at you, because life is gonna throw something at you, but it's how are you prepared to handle the tough times in life. As a result, I think when I'm expected to fall apart, or you're like, really stressed about something, I don't, because I've built up a very strong muscle, very strong resilience, muscle. So yeah, I mean, it's not nice when your kids are sick, but I'm here. The best I can do is look after them and continue to love and nurture them. So yeah, and I guess that, and I share these things publicly, because I just I don't want people to keep thinking, hey, Amanda has this life thing on lockdown. No, there are things that happen that just trip me up, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, let's find the toolkit box. What's in there? What do we need to use for this situation? And I think, that is really what I try and do here, is to see what we can add in your toolkit box, and what you can, look to, what you can grab when you are faced with life's difficult challenges. And I hope in a way that I have been able to do that. This will be the last session. What session is this? Ninth. Okay, 10th will be the last session, for our mentorship series. Because, in fact, I won't be around next week because I'm in Tanzania, and I will do one then the following week, which will be the 10th session. But then I'm away on vacation, so I won't be available for 2 weeks after that. But I mean, it is the perfect time to end our session on a 10th session. So let's just say I will still do a 10th session after this. I'll just figure out when the dates work fine. I could possibly also record and upload it. I'll see how my time goes. But I hope that, in the time that we've been together, you've been helped, and that you can actually always go back and watch these sessions, even the ones I did last year. I hope that you can keep going back to those. So I will be going on. I mean, it will end on the 10th session. Thank you, Ayabong. Thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, listen, I keep going, even on my end. Business is rather busy, which is good. I mean, I'm not complaining, Shem. We've, we needed this kind of momentum to come back, and the more clients go back to their work, the more we work. So we're quite happy with the way things are. Stuff matters, you settle those, then you probably have another thing or two down the road, but it's just it's every day pushing through to get to what you believe is the vision for your life. So it's not, you can't be passive in your life. It's okay to catch a breather, but you have to find the joy in everything you do. I really think that, and at the back of the session last week, around how we can find joy. I think if you can find a way to do things that you really truly enjoy, um, that's half the battle won, you know. And try and limit the things that don't bring you joy. Get rid of things that don't bring you peace, because at the end of the day, you know, oxygen is in short supply, and you need to use it effectively. Fresh, clean air is in short supply, so you really have to use it wisely. And if you can find something that you enjoy every single day, that brings about that joy in your life. Bumi says, oh yes, I personally have been helped, especially with finding my voice, especially at work. I'm really happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that. And it's a yeah, it's continuously doing the right things that they end up being second nature. So I'm glad that you found your voice. Continue to do so. It will become second nature. It will stop becoming uncomfortable. You'll just, so the more you practice that, the more you use your voice, the more you'll be comfortable. Mashiko says, thank you so much for dedicating the special time for us. I go back every time to these sessions. When I feel down, they do help, I must say. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, guys, throw some questions at me. Otherwise, I'm happy to log off. I told you I'm resting today. I'm not cooking today. I'm not doing anything today. Just this, and then that's it. I'll just be resting. So if you have any questions from the sessions we've had already, please post them. I'm going to do my best to answer them. If you don't have any questions, that's also okay, because I'm not short of things to do. I'm not short of things to do. Rest is also something that is quite important. So I think though, but let me maybe just take a step back to last week's topic, and not just last week's topic. Um, I want to tie back to all the topics that we've had, and if you haven't noticed the madness by now, it's quite organized. There's every topic that I've spoken about is actually quite tied to the previous one, because there's a thread in everything I do. There's a thread in everything I say, and at the core of it all, and I've just mentioned it earlier. At the core of everything is yourself, um, and it's what muscles are you building over a period of time that will come in handy when you need them. And your mental wellness, your state of mind, and the ability to master yourself is at the core of how you live your life. It's at the core of how you find joy in your life. But if you're constantly self-sabotaging, you're not going to find joy in your life. If your self-esteem hasn't risen to the levels that are expected of you, or that you expect of yourself, you're never going to find joy in your life. If your opinion of yourself hasn't changed, you're not going to find joy in your life. And if you don't have the ability to build up boundaries and uphold those boundaries, you're not going to find joy in your life. So every single thing I've mentioned before are it's the building blocks. In fact, the inner work is the building block for every single thing that you are going to be tackling in your life. So I don't know what other topics I spoke on. There's a lot of them. I forgot. But everything I've said on this platform and any other platform is really about how do you master yourself? How do you master self? Because you cannot master anybody. You cannot control anybody. You cannot control the events that are outside of yourself. You cannot control any of that. The only person you can control is yourself. And the question is, how do you use how do you build up those muscles such that you know what to use when the time comes? And I mean, I really hope that you can go back into those sessions and revisit them every time you're feeling otherwise. And I think that's what Mashiko was saying. And it's not, I don't really think you should just go back to them only when you're feeling in a certain way. I think when you have the time, just make it a habit to keep revisiting the previous sessions, because there's always something that resonates with you differently when you are at a different life stage, or your mode is different, or you're dealing with something that's different. So with every season that you're dealing with, you're gonna find something different in what I say. It's pretty much like my books, you know. You're gonna find something very different every time you read the books, because of where you are and how you're positioned in your life. So I mean, I'm quite excited about some of the things that I'm doing, and I one of the things that I'm going to be doing in next year and I'm sure I've said it here before, is that I want to focus more and more on my charitable work, and I'm partnering with I've partnered with quite a big foundation to do some charity work that will come out soon, the announcement. And there are quite a few things I'm really excited about. And I'm finding that I'm at a life stage where the things that excite me the most are not things that are for profit. They're things that are not for profit. And I'm really thinking that that's my feel is that that's what I'm going to be focusing on starting next year. Of course, I'll still be working in some shape or form, but I want to focus more on the not-for-profit work. Nyaniso says, what do you think about life purpose? How important is it for a person to find theirs? Your life's purpose is it's at the core of why you wake up. You know, it's at the core of everything you do. It should be that leading factor in your entire life. So it is absolutely critical. But let me maybe try and put it in a simple manner. Because I think sometimes saying you must know your purpose in life, or you must understand what your purpose is, can be so intimidating, because people don't actually know what do you mean by that? How do I find it? It's simply put, it's your reason for existence. What do you believe your reason for existence is? And I can tell you that people with a clear purpose, with a very clear purpose, or a clear why they exist, lead far more fulfilling lives, because that is their compass. That is what drives them. That is what leads them in their life. So it is very important that you find what your purpose is. Um, but purpose is different for everyone. It doesn't look the same, doesn't feel the same. And there are people who just don't have a purpose. They're just living through life, you know. Um, I don't necessarily believe that that is the most fulfilling way of looking at your life. You have to find something that's bigger than yourself to live for, something that you can contribute towards. So some people are quite passionate and feel their purposes in life. And I actually want to say that often your purpose lies in the things you are passionate about. Often it lies in the things you are passionate about. So some people are passionate about, animal rights. Some people are passionate about the environment. Some people are passionate about others, children, women, young boys, or, whatever it is that you believe you can contribute towards and make a difference. So purpose has a lot to do with your outward work, or your outward outlook on life. It's not always about, it's not about you, but sometimes you are the purpose. So sometimes you have to sort yourself out first. In fact, all the time, I believe you have to sort yourself out first before you can look to help others. Um, and I mean, I don't know how much psychology books people read, or anyone who studied psychology. I do think that there's merit in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So Maslow came up with this concept that, when your most basic needs are taken care of, you are able to move to the next stage of your life. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs start with like your most basic needs, which is like food, security, shelter, very basic things that people need to live, right through to self-actualization, which is at the top of his hierarchy. In fact, I think over the years that has been um, remixed, remixed, added to, by different psychologists, different as sociologists as well, who've taken a different angle to it. But the point is that at the top of the hierarchy of needs, at the top of human needs is self-actualization, where you no longer just care about yourself, where everything you do is now about how you can help others because you have reached all your needs. So in a way, I mean, there's merit to it. There's something to be said about the fact that you cannot find your purpose when you are hungry. You cannot find your purpose when you're not succeeding in your career. You cannot find your purpose when you don't have a roof over your head. And so I think that at the core of our lives is to firstly take care of the needs that we need to be taken care of. So look after self first, because before you can look to help others. Yeah, so I hope that helps. I mean, without purpose, it's like I think you're walking around without a compass, without a direction. And often life is so, the season is so dark that you can't even see where you're going, but you have to rely on your intuition. You have to rely on what it is that drives you, what it is that you are about. And it's important to find that, because it really does. It doesn't only give you direction; it also saves you from a lot of trouble. It saves you from things and places you shouldn't be going to. Um, I mean, I can relate that back to my business journey, where I'm very clear that I'm in business to create jobs, and what I do though is not I'm not just in business to make money. So if I was in business just to make money, I would end up taking big projects that down the road you finding yourself in trouble because you were just chasing the money and didn't focus on the values of that are driving you, on the values that are driving you. So it's easy for people to, how South Africa is, and I'm pretty sure other countries are like that. It's not just South Africa, but some of these projects that land on your lap, and it's a big project with, and you look at the budget, it's a big budget, but and anyone will jump at that, but I'm not the person that does it, because I'm always looking at where does this come from? Will I stand up in public and proudly declare that my values were not compromised in getting involved in something like that? So I'd rather be that person that focuses on smaller pieces of work. I know I can, I'll chew what I've bitten. I'll be able to chew it, but also my values are not compromised, because at the core of everything I do is my value system. So I think between passion and value system, you'll find your purpose, and you'll know when you found it. So it's one of those things that no one can tell you, oh, this is your purpose. No, you might be good at something. It doesn't mean it's your purpose. So it's knowing what really gets you out of bed at night when everything else has been taken care of. What is that thing that just keeps pushing you? When everything has been said and done, what's that thing that's pushing you? Thanks, Jens. Sylvia says, how would you address a manager who struggles when under pressure, then becomes sarcastic and unpleasant? He apologized afterwards, but I couldn't acknowledge this as I was still very upset. So I'm just going to take a photo of that question. Um, so okay, so you want to know how to address the manager who struggles under pressure and then becomes sarcastic and unpleasant. So firstly, I think that when you are upset, you don't want to address them. So you must sometimes, I think we always fight to be right because we are embarrassed in a situation, and we end up, with emotions that overflow, and you end up with a complete mess, right? So it's a good thing to not address a situation immediately, especially when the emotions are running high, because you can say so many things that are unprofessional. So what I really do suggest is that when everything has come down, you ask for a meeting with them, and you let them know exactly how they've made you feel. And because people are under pressure, it doesn't give them a right to take it out on you. We are all under pressure. Yeah, people handle it differently, but it doesn't mean you must disrespect people. Um, and I think you have every right to simply talk to them and say, I actually really did not like how you addressed me, and in the future, I hope you don't do that. And if you're finding it difficult to have a face-to-face about that, write them an email and say that. And an apology must feel like an apology. A person can't keep doing the same thing time and again and hide behind a sorry, because then that sorry is meaningless. So you must be very clear about where the boundary line is, and what happens if they cross that boundary line again. And it's okay to tell them you will report it to HR if they keep mistreating you, because you have a right to do that. You have a right to do that. Every employee has equal rights like their managers. So like managers have more rights than others. So you must never let that slide, because this is exactly how managers end up abusing their employees, because their employees don't say anything. They just keep quiet, and take all the abuse, and then slowly, bit by bit, their sense of self is eroded. Nobody should ever have to mistreat you because of their positional power. And remember, positional power is just that, positional power. It doesn't suddenly make them better than you. In fact, sometimes the people that report to managers get paid more than the managers. And okay, some managers, it just ticks them off. But the reality of it is that a manager is just as human as you are. They don't have some God-given power over you by virtue of being a manager. They just have a job, a role, a position, a responsibility. In fact, I think their responsibility is to you. So you have to make sure that you call them up on their behaviors, especially when they are transgressing some serious values. So please don't let that fester. Don't let that pass. Deal with it, because if you don't deal with it, it will just be a continuous cycle. It will be a continuous cycle, and it won't end. Morning, everybody, morning. So it won't end. You must just keep going. Just to recap for the people who just joined, I'm not cooking today because I'm tired. I have no lunch plans. I'm leaving it up to my husband. He's been